In order to create an AI agent, which is a fantastic way to add AI functionality towards your chatbots in a really easy to use manner, you can go towards the AI hub on the left-hand menu, go towards AI agents, and then press the blue button on the top right corner, plus AI agent. From here, you can give the agent a name. So let's, for example, say appointment booking agent. And then you will need to give a description. The description could be really detailed or really generic. Let's first just fill in something basic. Although it's really generic, we don't go into too much detail. We do mention what the agent's skill sets are. Now, what you can do is either go and fill in all the persona, the skills, and the constraints yourself, or you can also go with generate agent prompt, which will fill all of these sections in, except for the AI functions, and based on the description of the user. For now, before we're going to do that, first let's go towards settings and make sure that we have our proper AI model in place. You can choose between OpenAI, DeepSeek, and XAI. If you use AI functions, we do advise you to go with OpenAI because the function section of that AI is much more stable than DeepSeek or XAI. If you're just going with the text-based responses, then you can choose either one. Since this is an appointment booking, let's go with OpenAI as we will need to add AI functions later on. Let's go with a model. By default is GPT-4o mini, which is fine. Let's just also fill it in here. Now, if we press down on the parameters, you will see most of the parameters are similar towards that of a chat completion, where you can set the temperature. So for example, 0.4. You can set the frequency penalty, the presence penalty, and then we have a new feature called number of chat messages before auto summarize. And this means that once the chat history reaches this number of chat messages between the user and the AI agent, all of those messages will be summarized and reinserted in the chat history as one entry. This will save up a lot of history space, character space, and at the same time allows you to retain as much context of previous conversations as possible. So you can go all the way from 10 all the way to 100 messages to summarize. Well, let's leave it at 10 messages for now. You can also set the maximum number of tokens. If you just go with text-based responses, 500 might be enough in most cases. But for appointment booking, let's increase it a little bit to 1000. You also have output formats like text, Markdown, and JSON. In general, text and JSON are most widely used. Markdown you could use for channels like Telegram, where Markdown formatting is also supported. We will leave it at text for now. Now we arrive at the agent prompt, where we can fill in the persona and the role, the skill sets, and the constraints. As mentioned, if you're not proficient with prompting, you can also press this button, Generate Agent Prompt. So let's do this and let's see what kind of prompt we get based on the description that we gave here. So let's say Generate Agent Prompt. Let's say Confirm. And it takes just a couple of seconds to let this prompt do its magic and then insert it in all the available sections. And here we go. We have a role. So the role has been set, but no persona. But we can take a look. The appointment booking agent is responsible for scheduling appointment with users. This agent must capture user details. And this is basically pretty much the same as we set in the description. Then we have the skill sets. And based on the skill sets, as we mentioned here, the agent first needs to capture the user details, as you can see here. Ask for the user first name and wait for the user's response. Ask for the last name and wait for the response. Email address. Validate the email format and ensure all data are captured correctly before proceeding. Then we'll get the second skill set, which is the time slot retrieval. Fetch available time slots. And then we will have, after capturing user details, query the scheduling system for available time slots, ensure that the query is conducted within the relevant date range, and handle cases where no slots are available. We also have time slot selection and the appointment booking itself. Now we can go by these, but we will adjust this a little bit in the next video to make it a little bit more concise. If we take a look at the constraints, you will see that these are also populated, and we can see the agent must only process requests in a single user session and should not store personal data beyond the session. Ensure that all the prompts and responses are clear and user-friendly. Handle errors in data input gracefully, providing clear guidance on how to correct mistakes. For example, invalid email format. If at any step the user decides to cancel, offer an option to exit the booking process politely. And then last but not least, response times should be quick to maintain a user engagement and satisfaction. What we could also do is have an additional guideline, and then from here we can press save and the AI agent has been created. Again, we can adjust the skill sets within the next few videos. But first, let's take a look on how to activate this actual agent inside the flow builder. Inside this flow, you will see that we have an AI agent default flow. Inside this flow, it's really easy to activate the agent. All you have to do is go with an action node, go with add an item, and then all the way at the bottom you will see AI actions, where you will be able to activate the AI agent. Inside, you can select your primary agent and go, in this case, with the appointment booking agent. You can also select secondary agents. For example, if you have a customer support agent or other types of agents, CRM manager, social media manager, you can add them here as well. What this will do is it will bring in the functions of those agents and allow them to be used by this primary agent. Basically enriching the primary agents with additional functions if you so have them inside those secondary agents. You also have an idle timeout. This means that you can set a certain timeout for whenever a user is inactive to get them outside of this AI agent node. How this works is, if we going to take a look, you will see continue after 10 minutes of user inactivity. That means that you can now set a follow-up step on the continue to next step. So continue after 10 minutes will then be activated under this specific section. You can send a follow-up message or maybe an admin notification. That's totally up to you, but that is something that you can set. If we go back, you can also save the output payload inside any of your available JSON fields. You can press save, and then this agent has been set. There's an additional step here where you can say plus additional AI agents. If you have multiple agents, like with the secondary option inside the primary agent, you can set these, which we will take a look at a later video. And then based on that, let's say that this is a secondary agent, you can then route this towards another action node to, let's say that this is a customer support agent, you can then activate it towards that specific agent. This way you can connect multiple different kinds of agents together, and you can see this as basically an intent selector where the system checks if the intent of the user is not to book an appointment, but rather to receive customer support. For example, you can send them towards the customer support agent. This is the way that you can create AI agents and use them inside of your flow builder. Also take note that this single node inside the flow builder allows you to have the entire booking conversation with a user. This saves a lot of nodes that you normally would use. And this is a fantastic way to provide the same kind of AI functionality along with functions which we will discuss in a next video.